Well guys, that was an eventful qualifying session, wasn't it, for Sunday's race at the Belgian Grand Prix. Just some news and updates before the qualifying session review. Max Verstappen will start with a 5-place grid penalty for Sunday's race. He took a gearbox change. Also, there's been big changes at the Alpine team. Very surprising, to be honest with you. We know Laurent Rossi left and moved sideways, and in came a new manager there. But also Otmar Safnauer and Alain Permain, the technical lead there, are leaving at the end of this weekend. Really strange decision because it's the start of the Grand Prix weekend, and well, off they go. They won't be there after the summer break or after this weekend. Rumours are that Matteo Binotto is going to be lined up to replace Otmar, but you know, there's been a lot of changes in movement at Alpine. I mean, I wonder what's happening with that 100 race plan, isn't it? It looks like it's well and truly in the bin with the amount of staff leaving there. In come Bruno Famin and also Julian Rose and Matt Harmon to take over the positions. Pat Fry is also leaving, actually. He's going to Williams as the Chief Technical Officer. A brilliant coup for Williams. He's well respected, isn't he, Pat Fry? He's been around for many, many years. And also the F1 Commission have voted to postpone the 2024 tyre blanket ban after the tests that they've had, and having a vote, they've said, well, we'll postpone it following more discussions and testing, and we'll see what happens in 2025. And also the engine equalization plan, they've said that, well, it's clear that one competitor is disadvantaged, and they've left it for the Power Unit Advisory Committee to come up with some sort of idea and come back to them with a plan of what they could potentially do on that front. And that's it. Well, let's get on with the qualifying review, and that was a brilliant session, wasn't it? Mainly due to us starting in the rain. I mean, we had a delay of 10 minutes. We then got a bit of a delay at the start of the Q3 session, didn't we? And that's mainly just to sweep up some of the rubble and some of the mess that some of the cars made. But what a session in the end. What a fantastic lap from Max Verstappen on the very last lap, to get pole by 0.8 seconds. I mean, no, he won't start on pole. We know that he'll start 5 places back, but he effectively got pole with a mega lap. I mean, unstoppable. It looked really close, isn't it? Especially on that first flying lap. It was Charles Leclerc on provisional pole. The Ferraris with the surprise upturning performance. It was fantastic to see him up there. But Max Verstappen stole that one, didn't he? Absolutely mega performance. And he'll start 6th. No doubt we'll see him in the fight for the lead very early on in the race on Sunday. But it was Charles Leclerc with the surprise run on Ferrari, haven't they? Massive upturn performance. They've not really brought any significant updates, have the Ferrari, but they seemed really well and did really well in the qualifying session and looked strong. Charles Leclerc will actually start the race on pole position for Sunday, followed by Sergio Perez. A decent upturning performance for him, much needed to start closer to the front. I guess this is one of these places where now, you know, it's his turn to go ahead and take the battle and win, but he was absolutely smashed by Verstappen last time, wasn't he? Perez in Belgium, and when we seen Perez Verstappen even further back, and it was all Perez as an open goal for him, but he just got smashed, didn't he? But let's see, let's pray and hope that we get another or a different winner for Sunday's race. And in 3rd place it's Lewis Hamilton. Actually, a very brilliant lap from him, because the Mercedes seem to be struggling in comparison to the Ferraris and the Red Bulls, and McLaren again looking strong. But what a lap at the end to get 4th. He'll start 3rd, obviously because of Verstappen's penalty. And then comes Carlos Sainz, who'll start in 4th, showing the strong performance of the Ferrari. Fantastic qualifying session for them. Oscar Piastri was brilliant, wasn't he? It looked like he was absolutely mega in that middle sector. He was about a second faster than anyone else at one point, and you know, just his last sector just wasn't there, and it looked like we could have him on pole, to be honest. At one point he was absolutely brilliant, but a P5, he beats his teammate Lando Norris, who starts in 7th, but it's Verstappen obviously in 6th, follows his penalty. Norris 7th. He's been beaten by his teammate, which is a bit surprising. You know, Oscar's been a tremendous job, hasn't he, showing why they trusted and believed in him and his abilities as a rookie, and really why they wanted him. But yeah, Norris P7, and Russell, disappointing, but he'll start in 8th place. Again, like I said, the Mercedes really struggled, and Norris actually went for a different setup to Lewis Hamilton. He's gone for a bigger rear wing as compared to Lewis. Let's see how that pans out for him in the race on Sunday. Alonso P9 and then Stroll P10. The Aston Martins, again, probably being the fifth best team, aren't they? Or fifth fastest, fourth fastest team down there at that far end of the grid. Yeah, and they've said that they've gone down the wrong route potentially with one of their upgrades, and they've kind of figured that out, and hopefully they can fix that over the summer break for the next race. And for P11, it's Yuki Tsunoda. He beats his teammate Daniel Rick. Fantastic performance from him. Pierre Gasly in 12th, Magnussen 13th, Bottas 14th, and Ocon 15th. Ocon met with the barrier, didn't he, at the end of the Q2 session, and really cost him. I mean, it was a scruffy one, that one, wasn't it? The Q2 session. It was going from wets to dries. Max Verstappen nearly lost it, didn't he? Just went off in the gravel. Very similar to Ocon, but Verstappen kept it going. He only got 10th in the Q2 session. Verstappen nearly went out, and it would have been an absolute disaster for him. He was ranting and raving over the team radio, wasn't he, about how close that one. But as I say, Ocon out due to a bit of a bang with the wall, broke his front wing, and then couldn't get around to get another lap in. So he'll start 15th, and then 16th for Alex Albon. He made a mistake at turn 8 Rivage, went off, and that cost him, to be honest, for getting into the Q2 session. Bit of a shame for Williams, because I expected him to kind of do better. Maybe the wet weather sort of hampered what they have. Maybe they've got a dry setup for the race, which is potentially going to be dry at the start on Sunday. So we might see him steaming through the field, because we've got a bit of a mix-up here with obviously a wet qualifying session, a potentially dry Sunday race. So we don't know who the setups and how that's going to work out for the race. And then Zhou Guanyu 17th, Logan Sargent 18th after a smashing FP1. The Williams guys did a brilliant job. He was late into the Q1 session, wasn't he? But a decent lap. He was very happy with the team to get them out there at least. And at least he's not at the back of the grid. Danny Ricciardo 19th. He was actually got through in P6, wasn't he? But then got done for track limits up at the top of Eau Rouge. Went off track, rightly so. It was all of his car was off the white line, or the other side of the white line. And he'll start 19th. He was obviously very apologetic to the team over the radio, but the damage was done there really. And Nico Hülkenberg, who starts last, he couldn't get a run in at the very end of the session. A hydraulics problem meant he couldn't get out and do in time just to get a last lap run in. The track was, ramping up that much. There was no chance unless you got a decent or at least a run at the very end. But yeah, there we go. It was brilliant. But like I say, Max Verstappen's got it all to do on Sunday, I imagine. 6th place. I don't think it'll be too long till we'll be at the front, but to see Charles Leclerc at the front in a Ferrari will be fantastic. Let's see how long he can last up there at the front, especially with the battle with Perez and Hamilton and Sainz. It'll be fantastic. The two McLarens, they look solid as well round here. So we'll see how that plans out tomorrow. And tomorrow we've got the sprint day, haven't we? Sprint shootout early in the morning, 11 o'clock start here UK time, and then the race at about 3:30 tomorrow as well. Kind of looking forward to sprint day, especially how this qualifying session worked out. And we've actually got rain scheduled for tomorrow also. Probably a bit more worse than we had today, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually get that race run and the session done. Let's see how it plans out. But there we go. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. I'll see you for tomorrow's qualifying and sprint shootout review.